when I first got there. So you take a shower, you go to the shower. I had my shirt off, of course, like you said, young baby-faced kid. So there's this dude that was in there, and of course I don't know who he is. And he's been in there for, I don't know, probably 30 years, 40 years. He's never going home. So I come out of the shower and someone had whistled or something, right? But I didn't know that it had come from him. And another guy pulled up on me. He was like, hey, you heard that, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, hey, listen. He's like, tell that fucking weirdo, don't ever do that again or else there's gonna be an issue. Next time I go take a shower, this motherfucker whistles again. I'm like, oh no, here I am, you know? So I had to go to this dude's room, of course, and I'm not like acting like I'm some crazy tough guy, but I'll fight, and I don't care if I get my fucking ass kicked either. So I just went to the door and was like, listen, at the end of the day, like, don't disrespect me like that. If, you know, if this ever happens again, like, it's not gonna be us having a conversation, it's gonna be me coming in your room. And he apologized and said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you, and it was done and over. You know, respect is a big, big thing up there. I really learned respect once I got up there.
I didn't want to join a gang, and they said, hey man, you gotta rock with one of us to be safe. You gotta put in work. And I'm thinking like, fuck no, I don't. What do you mean, bro? I told him no, but super respectfully. I was like, listen, man, I'm just trying to get my time done. I'm not really trying to put in work for anyone. He seemed kind of cool about it. I thought like, all right, that's cool. And then I was alone for a while. It was about a week, and I'm showering. And while I was showering, two people, I heard them come in. I asked, what's up? I'm butt-ass naked, bro. And one of them turned off the shower, dude. I was mad confused. I thought I was about to like scrap or something. And one of them just hits me. I'll be honest, dude. I froze. I fall to the ground. One of them kicked me in the head, and I start covering my head up. And I felt one get on top of me, and they me.
Holy shit.
That really changed my life. I'm screaming, bro. Everyone in the pod can hear me, dog. I'm screaming help. No one came in. They all let her happen.
Hello, y'all. Welcome to Bam Bam Raw TV. I'm Bam Bam, a.k.a. the 411 Giant. Hey, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you know my next video coming up. On this episode, I'm going to tell you about creating armies in penitentiary. One of the armies that I'm going to say, I'm going to go, is several ways to create armies. One of the ways is you get solid men. Make sure they eat, make sure they all right, make sure they understand the mentality of being on top instead of being on the bottom. You get them men together, show them the love and loyalty, you have your army. You find a way to bound together. Find Louisiana from the tip to the top of the boot. New Orleans to Shreveport bound us together. Dirty South, Southern Regulators bound us together. So that means from Louisiana call to the Tennessee to go on and on and on. You find a way to bind together. And in finding that way to bind together for strength, you also got to offer something. Let's eat together. I don't need nobody to fight with me. I tell them all the time. I run through 3 or 4 of them, maybe 5 by myself. I don't need nobody to fight me, but I need somebody to talk with me, plan with me, eat with me, formulate with me. This is the way that we establish ourselves on the compound. And then it always accelerates. It goes from me to men's. I had that same report with men's from almost every car. That was from respectable cars. They fooled me. And I fooled them men's. And together we was a conglomeration that if anything happened, all our cars could come together through us. You got to have an army for to be respected. And I say that. And then I take you to the point of the lowest element of that. And I'm going to say the lowest avenue of that. When you're in the hole, I'm in the hole. I done spent, out of my 28 years, I probably spent 19 in Supermaxes, 13 in ADX, 6 in Mary. Then I did 2 years lockdown in the hole for assaulting the officer after I was indicted, before I got my time. They kept me in the hole there. And I spent 6 months in this hole. I spent 8 months in this hole. So I did most of my time there. In special management unit, I did 2 years in there. That's where they keep you locked down 22 hours going on because of my influence and power on compound. But everywhere they went, I found a way to create an army. All the people on the compound, idiots, dummies, whatever they called them, they didn't fool with them. I got on the range. I listened to them. I listened to what they needed. I listened to what they did without, and I gave it to them. You got some of them, all they wanted was coffee. I made sure that somebody through my dealings, through stuff I was selling or whatever I was doing, because I had dudes going out to court, they would bring me. I ain't never been on compound. I didn't have no dope or something. But I got dude even in lockdown, dude go back to court with breaking stuff back there. So I'm like, dudes up there, I don't care where they from, they call them crazy, they didn't talk to nobody going on. I tell them, man, you drink coffee? They, yeah, I drink coffee. Boom. So them bad coffee down there. Boom. What you got? You got stamps to write your folks? No, how can you? Tell me what you need. You don't owe me nothing. You don't boom. Once doing that for them people and treating them people like human beings in that environment, you can look at the time. When I go, the whole range go. When I go the whole range, if I tell the whole range to hold their slots, the men's gonna hold it because they roll with me. But the other dudes gonna hold it because I've been looking out for them. Now you gotta be able to separate the two. But those dudes who ain't nobody looked out for, ain't nobody did this to them. When you look out for them and show them some work, they gonna roll with you. You got to create an army. Ain't no one dude. They ain't shipped me because I was one dude. They shipped me because I was one dude influenced other dudes to stand up and let's just do this right there and together. And they know that when I tell them I'm going out there, they know I ain't gonna leave them behind. I'll put myself in a situation to die first before I leave any man behind. So that is very important in every aspect of life. That was my motto on the street. That's my motto in jail. So in jail, you go in jail and you're in penitentiary and you make these enemies. Oh, I don't like that inmate there. I don't like that inmate there. I don't like that inmate there. I don't talk to him. When the police do something to you and you hollering and screaming, you already act funny with everybody. So who you think gonna give a hoot? Who you think gonna care when the police done ran in the cell on you and beating you down? Who you think gonna care? Nobody. That's why it's important to build yourself an army, even if it ain't nothing but just being associated with the next man and next say, hey, how you doing, brother? You all right? Need a stamp? You good? You good on everything? Okay. You ain't gonna let him play no game with you. You know what I'm saying? You give him a couple stamps, he ask you for something the next day, you tell him don't play with me. Now, nigga, I gave you 2 stamps yesterday. Now, this ain't this type of game, but I see how you play, so me and you dead. But the point is, you're going to be firm, but you can't let it take your humanity. You cannot let it take your humanity. You got to do the right thing, and if somebody don't reciprocate it, you cut them off. If they step over at the end, you stab them. Simple as that. Ain't no, it's a lot easier. I'm having trouble on the street dealing with situations. I can't do what I did in jail. I can't just stab somebody because they ain't got my paperwork right when I go to the doctor. I can't just stab somebody because the bus didn't get here on time. So it's a whole different thing. So I think it's a lot, I'm going to say, that part is a lot easier. So anyway, my advice to you, don't build enemies, build your army. When you go places, I ain't saying when you establish yourself, let me Let me put that on. When you have established yourself, you can't walk in no door being friendly. Be respectable, but never walk in being friendly. But when you establish, once you establish yourself, you can go play, then they give you the chance to be you. They give you a chance, hey, what's up, man? You know, my family send me out. I'm living good. I'm all right. You need this? Okay, well, send me your jelly or whatever so I can make my wine or whatever the case is. Give them an opportunity to not be suffering on the same range you suffering on. Because then they're going to be envy because the store man only stop at your sale. So it's a lot with that. But I'm going to tell you all the time, find whatever means possible that could bring you together or build your army. When you build your army, that's one of the reasons they shipped me to ADX and killed nobody in the system. Some dudes had to kill 3-4 people to get to ADX. I ain't never killed nobody. They said I had too much influence on the compound. I don't see it. I know people appreciated me and I appreciated them, but that's the way the system works. But again, my message in this is that's in life. Build your army. Build your army. You want to go to the down, you want to change a decision in the court, get you some people to go down there with you. Do something for some people before you ask them to do something for you. Don't always have to, it got to be, give me. Do something for people. So then when you ask them, hey, come go down here with me and vote, they'll go down there with you and vote. But if you ain't never did nothing for them people, why should they go down there and vote? You ain't showed them nothing about their life. But you're going to tell them about an issue that's over here. What about right here when they not living, they not eating like they supposed to, they not living? You ain't showed them nothing. But you want them to have all this compassion for an issue over here. You got to show compassion right here. That's what you got to do. You got to make them feel you. You got to make, hey, man, you tell me your electricity cut off, let's see, we go, what, $60? Oh, shoot, nigga, I'm gonna hit the cone and ask each brother, I'll see, man, give me $10, let me go get this brother electricity turned on. A man like that, if he got the right to vote and you say, hey, come on, man, I need you to go down there with me and vote on this issue and tell him this issue have merit and tell him what the issue is, I got him coming after what you done did for him. But you don't do nothing. Y'all got to do something for these people, man, for these people to believe in you. People don't believe in nobody now. I don't want them to believe in me. I just want them to believe in doing something different and doing something better. But again, I'm going to close this here. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and that bell icon so you know my next video coming up. I'm going to go with the prison story, and I'm going to do the prison survival thing, and I'm going to try to pick it up a little bit. I'm going to try to have a little fun with it. And I don't like, it get kind of dark when I go to them places. Y'all have to excuse me. I got to loosen up. My producer, everybody will tell me I got to loosen up with it. And I got to tell my stories and be more animated because my stories is, they're recollections. But so I'm going to say, thank y'all again. Peace. Love you.
What's up, TikTok? It's story time, baby. I'm gonna tell y'all a story about this bunky that I had who did all of the clichéest ass wrong shit that you don't do in a joint and the consequences that immediately followed afterwards. So I come back from a visit and I got this new bunky. He's a white dude. He's about my age. He seemed like he's really savvy. He talked like he had sense, and he could tell, and he had like a bit to do. He had like 10 or 15 years, man. So I'm like, you know what, man, he might be cool. He might make it too, man. End up being a reputable guy, right? So, well, we on his disciplinary deck. I don't know why he on the disciplinary deck, but that's where he went. And I've been there the longest. And I got the biggest room on the block. I got one of them handicap rooms. So every time motherfuckers want to fight, they go to my room. And I can get that motherfucker open, them handicap rooms. So every time motherfuckers want to fight, they go to my room. So I noticed that he keeps wanting to watch all the fights, right? So I tell him, I'm like, hey, you might not want to watch every fight that goes down, man. Even though it's our room, that shit ain't none of our business. I said, how about this? You see me watching a fight, you can watch the fight. Other than that, don't watch the fight, bro, because it's going to get you into some shit. So one day, the GD's been down on me, and they wanted to take care of some business, and they needed my room. So I go get it ready for them and shit. Well, I'm hitting laps, and I look over, and I see dude trying to watch what's going on. And this was like some in-house shit that the GDs had going on. I'm like, damn, man, he's tweaking, man. So I look over, look back, and he's laying on the ground. This motherfucker name, I ain't gonna say his name, but anyways, the motherfucker cracked his ass and laid him out in the day room. I'm like, oh shit. So everybody moved away and shit. He went in the room, and I went and hollered at him real quick. He was in the mirror, and he had his gum was all peeled back, and the motherfucker got split. He got split pretty hard. I'm like, what's up, bro? You want me to go get dude real quick so you can get this fight out the way? He's like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm like, it's just gonna be a one-on-one fight. Just go bump with him, get it over with. That way, there ain't gonna be no issues after that. He's like, nah, bro, I'm good. I don't want to fight. I'm like, it's a good idea to fight him, homie. Like, fight this dude. Stay tuned for part 2. Alright, so this is part 2 about the bunky who just did the wrong shit and the consequences that followed. So, I'm like, bruh, you don't want to bump? He's like, nah. I'm like, alright, man. So, up until this point, he was eating lunch and dinner and breakfast with the SKs every time. He was probating to be an SK, which out of all the white organizations, they probably the most honorable ones in Indiana. They got the most respect. They really don't be on that racist ass shit. So they cool. And he was eating with them and shit. And they was feeling him, and he's about to be an SK. He goes to sit down with the SKs and eat like normal, like every day. And they were like, nah, homie, you can't sit with us. And he was like, damn. So he sat down. You know, I'm kind of watching from a distance just to see what happens and shit. So he sits down in this chicken patty day. And this little dude, he walks up to him. He's like, hey, bro, you want to sell your chicken sandwich? And he was like, no, I got to eat this. And the dude was like, I'm just being nice, bitch. And grabbed the sandwich and walked away and ate his shit in his face.
Damn.
And he just looked, and he was looking all shocked and shit. And he just shook his head and ate the rest of his food and shit. And he just looked, and he was looking all shocked and shit. And he just shook his head and ate the rest of his food and shit.
Damn.
Came back, and he's like, man, what's going on, man? Why is everybody fucking treating me like this, man? What the hell's going on? I'm like, bro, because you wouldn't fight, man. I'm like, motherfuckers see that shit, now they think you a hoe, because you did some hoe shit. And he's like, I ain't no hoe, though. I'm like, I'm just saying, man, that's what's going on, man. Don't let this shit happen no more. Just be a man and stand up for yourself, man. He's like, all right, man. So, like, the next weekend was White Castle Day, right? We had got an outside order to White Castle. It was like, he had like 3 cases of pop and like a 30 case of White Castle or some shit. So it comes, and we in the day room, and I noticed like 2 or 3 of the GDs is talking to him. I'm like, oh shit, I already know what's going on. So he comes in the cell. I'm like, what they was talking about? He's like, man, they want me to give them all my pop, and I can keep the White Castle. Or they're gonna beat my ass. I'm like, so what you gonna do? He's like, well, shit. They said I could keep my White Castle, so I'm just gonna give him a pop. I'm like, your math good. I'm like, but that's the wrong answer, homie. He's like, what should I do then? What would you do? He's like, I'm not even affiliated. Nobody's fucking with me. I'm like, grab a lock and hit him with it when he's on the phone. That's what you do. Stay tuned for part 3. It's part 3 of the bunky who did all the wrong shit. So I'm like, yeah, man, go hit that motherfucker in the face with a lock. That's the only option you have, man. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna be in trouble, and it's gonna be a little problems after that, but folks are gonna see that you put your foot down. You ain't letting it happen no more. He's like, nah, I might get in trouble, this, that, and the third. I'm like, man, whatever. So the White Castle comes, and he gives him the pop.
Damn.
Well, I'm really feeling some type of way because he got my room looking weak. He doing weird shit. I ain't really feeling this shit anyway. You feel me? I know what's gonna happen, man. They just finna keep taking the dude shit. So I go bend down on the motherfucker who was facilitating the extortion and who knocked him out in the first place. And I'm like, hey, bro, out of respect for me, anytime you take something from that man, can you make sure he grabs it and brings it out the room and gives it to you so you ain't in my room taking nothing out of it? And he's like, yeah, of course. Because I just don't want a motherfucker taking nothing out of my cell, regardless if it's mine or if it isn't, you feel me? So one day he comes back to the cell and he's mad. He's pacing back and forth. You can tell he's shitty about something. I don't know what happened, but I'm like, what's up, man? You want to talk about something? He like, yeah. He like, when the doors roll, I want you to go get Buddy and I want to bump with him. I'm like, look, bro, that's the wrong way to go about this, man. You can't go back into the past and fix the shit that you did. All you can do is do better in the future. Stop letting this shit happen. Stop being a hoe, and just that's it. Put your foot down. That's it. That's all you got to do. And he like, no, fuck that. I want to bump with him. So I'm like, all right. So I go to the homie when the doors roll. I'm like, hey man, my bunky want to bump with you. He like, you put him up to that shit? I'm like, nah. My advice to him was totally different. So he like, all right. So he goes down there and they bump, and he beats the fuck out of my bunky. When the fight's over with, the doors roll, and dude stays out of the cell while my bunky's inside the cell, and they're talking. And when they get done talking, I go holler at my bunky. I'm like, what was he saying? He's like, man, he said, I gotta go, man. I gotta check in. I gotta leave the deck. I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, that's what happens, man. I'm like, you f***ed up, man. Sorry that it had to be like that, man. But yeah, man. Pack your motherfucking shit, hit the button and go. He's like, what should I tell him? I said, tell him you want to kill yourself. I don't give a fuck. So stay tuned for the last part. Part 4, baby. So yeah, part 4, the last and final part of the story about my bunky who got knocked out, did all the wrong shit. They make him check in. He leaves. And he goes right to the hallway next to, we on the 3-4 side of P dorm, which is disciplinary. He goes to the 1-2 side, so he's right next door. As soon as he gets there, they beat his motherfucking ass and take all of his shit. They took his TV, they took his hot pot, they took his motherfucking jumpsuits, they took his food, they took everything. They took his shoes, they took his coat, they took everything, and he had to go. There ain't no PC in that joint, so I don't know where he went, but all because this man ain't want to fight.